Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Dan Gilbert wants to fix what Lansing can't, what the billionaire did today in hopes of lowering Michigan's sky-high auto insurance rates. It has some lawmakers none too pleased.
Workers waiting on pins and needles in Dearborn. White-collar job cuts at Ford set to begin in less than 24 hours.
And caught on camera, a thief walks off with a boy's beloved dog as the child with special needs desperately pleads with him to give it back.
But we're going to begin here at 5 with some breaking news from Oakland County, where officials say they've uncovered the largest case of animal hoarding in the county's history.
In all, 178 cats were removed from one home in West Bloomfield Township. We're told 60 of those cats were in such poor condition they had to put down, 60 of them. The surviving cats were taken to the Oakland County Animal Shelter.
Yeah, we have a breaking news crew on the way to the house on LC Drive. That's right in the area of Greer and Cooley Lake Roads. We'll have a live report on Local 4 News coming up at 6 o'clock.
Our other top story at this hour, his father says the dog named Cobra means everything to his 11-year-old son who has special needs.
Yeah, they say Cobra was stolen by the man on the left in this picture there, using that little girl on the right as a helper. It happened right in the area of Meringue and McKinney. Priya Man is there live tonight. And Priya, this happened just as the little boy was getting off his school bus.
Yeah, that's right, Kimberly. He was in the driveway heading for his door when he noticed a pair walking away with a dog that kind of looked like his puppy, but Christian was confused. So he runs into the backyard to check the doghouse, realizes it's his puppy, and that's when this little boy with special needs takes off running.
It's challenging for him to speak. So they knew what they was dealing with when they was taking the dog, because he couldn't even really yell or scream or to tell anybody anything.
And he believed them.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking video of an autistic child running after thieves who are taking his puppy.
He running after them to tell them, like, hey, that is my dog, bring my dog back.
The fourth grader has severe autism and just wanted the pair to bring back his pit bull mix named Cobra. At first, it looks as if they're going to oblige.
He telling my son something, seemed like that, don't worry about it, we gonna keep him.
While Christian is trying to make sense of what's happening, the thief is motioning to the bus driver to leave, but that driver can't leave until Christian is in his home, so the pair try helping him get inside.
And as soon as he turned his back, he back off with him again, holding him in between his body, so he really didn't notice.
After putting his coat and backpack on, the 11-year-old turns around and tries opening the door. He trusted them, and they walked away carrying Cobra.
It's really bigger than me. I really don't got nothing to say, but man, karma will come back around. You can't go around taking advantage of people. You knew you was wrong.
This hardworking Detroit dad just wants Cobra back with Christian.
That's horrible. If it's a monster out here that's preying on special needs children, somebody need to catch him and do something.
And what's even more heartbreaking is Christian can't fully comprehend that Cobra is gone. So his dad says every day Christian goes and checks the doghouse for Cobra. You can see the leash is still sitting there. Cobra was taken Friday afternoon. This family just desperately hoping the puppy will be returned. Reporting live, I'm Priya Man, Local 4.
Well, Priya, I'm assuming the family has filed a police report. What are police saying about this?
Yeah, they filed one today. Police are investigating. The family has also put out a reward on social media, and they say if this young man decides to drop the dog off, they will not ask any questions. Send it back to you.
Okay, Priya, thanks.
An investigation, is underway after a Detroit paramedic is assaulted while on duty.
It all happened this morning on Mayfield Street near Hayes Road on the city's east side. Detroit police tell us the 37-year-old EMT was assaulted by a 41-year-old man. The paramedic was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay.
White-collar workers at Ford know layoffs are coming. That doesn't make them hurt any less. And now we have learned the cuts are going to start tomorrow morning in Dearborn. Business editor Rod Maloney is live there tonight with how many jobs are at stake and what's behind the decision. Rod.
Yeah, Devin, let's take a look at the numbers here. It's 900 jobs globally right now in this round. 500 of those are going to be in North America. Many of those are going to be here, research and development, engineering type jobs here in the Dearborn area. But that's not going to stop here. Come August, they'll have another 300 more jobs in that are going to be cut. But it leaves some wondering if this is enough at this point. While the announcement came today, the pink slips will actually start going out tomorrow morning, and the employee meetings will last until Friday. And it's all part of a larger global plan aimed at making Ford more nimble and recession ready, as Ford CEO Jim Hackett said last month at the Detroit Economic Club.
So part of this mindset is not to be recession proof, it's to say, come on, recession, we're ready for you. And that's Ford will be ready for the recession.
In a statement today, Hackett filled in a lot of the blanks for Wall Street, which has long wondered exactly what this restructuring would look like. Quote, by the end of the process in August, we expect to have eliminated about 7,000 salaried positions, or about 10% of our global salaried workforce. Within that total, and consistent with our goal to reduce bureaucracy, we'll have reduced management structure by close to 20%, which will result in annual savings of about $600 million, end quote. LMC auto analyst Jeff Schuster believes Ford has long needed to cut its middle management ranks.
The idea of cutting some of the middle section out is you speed up the efficiency of getting a decision made, which could lead to faster decision making. I think that, in addition to the financials, is an aspect that can be measured when we see this at the end of the day.
Still, Wall Street was highly unimpressed with the announcement. Ford stock closed down a penny. They being the ones who think there probably isn't enough cut here. But in the meantime, Jim Hackett, CEO, is certainly trying a different approach with what you could call a kinder, gentler layoff process. Used to be, you get your pink slip, they give you the box, you pack up your desk, and you get an escort out of the building. That's not going to happen this time. People get that pink slip, they know what they've got to do, but they get 2 or 3 days to wind up what they're doing, make their goodbyes, and then leave the company. Devin, back to you.
Rod, these kind of cuts usually mean that the company won't be hiring then for a while for obvious reasons. Is that true here again?
You know, interesting you ask, Devin, because it's a situation where, because Ford wants to become a mobility company, they're telling us that they're going to be backfilling a lot of these positions with new kinds of executives for artificial intelligence, autonomous vehicles and electric vehicles and the like. So they look to be changing the complexion of the company as well.
Yeah, retooling in a different kind of way. Yeah, all right, Rod. Kim.
Well, prosecutors say it went beyond murder. Today, James Cockerham, the man charged in the death of a woman whose remains were found in an East Side dumpster, made his first appearance in court, and our Larry Spruill was there.
This is case number 190-57660.
This is the man police say allegedly killed 27-year-old Elizabeth Candace Nicole Laird. Her family calls her Candy. Local 4 there on scene last week when police found her body inside of a trash can at this apartment building on Robert Brady Drive. Police later released this video claiming the man in this video is allegedly James Cockerham. Saturday, he was arrested in connection of Laird's death. Sunday night, her family held a prayer vigil in her honor.
And it's sad to see so many females going within this month.
This is not supposed to happen to my baby sister.
No.
Sorry, I am crushed.
Monday, he heard the charges he's now facing.
Charged with count 1, homicide, murder, first degree, premeditated. This is a felony with a penalty of life without parole.
He's also charged with torture and unlawful imprisonment. The judge says because of the serious nature of these charges, he was denied bond.
The court is remanding you to the custody of the Wayne County Jail, sir. You may step away from the camera.
And he's due back in court on May 31st at 8:30 in the morning. You can definitely count on Local 4 to be there. We are live tonight. Larry Spruill, Local 4.
Okay, Larry. A Detroit man who shot and killed 3 people at a Detroit White Castle last year was sentenced today. 30-year-old William Wilborn Little given life in prison without the chance of parole. Back in September of 2018, Wilborn Little and another man fired countless shots into the fast food restaurant, shattering windows and taking the lives of 3 men who were inside in their 20s. One of the victims' mothers gave an emotional statement to the court.
It's not right how you did these. Boy, you shot my son 17 times. 17 times. He didn't deserve that. I just want to know why.
Well, in his own statement to the court, Wilborn Little offered his sympathy to the families, but maintained his innocence, saying he didn't do anything to anyone. The other shooter is in jail for his role in the murders.
Well, we are just now 10 days away from the green flag on Belle Isle for the Detroit Grand Prix, and there's a look at Belle Isle.
Yeah, very nice there. And after a rainy Sunday, crews got a break today with cooler temperatures and drier weather. Let's get over to Ben. The rain kind of held off today. What's in store for tonight?
It did, Kim and Devin, but the cooler temperatures sure didn't. We've got numbers outside that are in the 50s right now, so we are woefully below average for this time of year. And we've got a wind on top of it, which is not really making things feel all that great. So numbers tonight will fall to around 50 degrees, at least in the metro zone by midnight. Most of us are going to the 40s. There are going to be a couple 30s. I should say more than a couple. We're going to look at all those temperatures in your 4-zone forecast coming up. We're also keeping close tabs on what's going on in Oklahoma and Texas. Right now, there are multiple tornado warnings, 2 confirmed tornadoes on the ground as we speak. So we'll continue to monitor this situation, have the latest in just a few minutes. Guys?
Okay, Ben. Well, we're just getting started here at 5. Here's defender Karen Drew.
He seemed like a happy-go-lucky kid.
And then everything changed with their adopted son.
Threatening to kill us in our sleep.
According to the lawsuit, the child has been hospitalized over 20 times with the same outcome, and the state is ready to release him again. These parents say the state is threatening to charge them with a crime if they don't pick up their child. The defender's exclusive coming up.
All right, Karen, also the National Weather Service confirms a tornado touchdown here in Michigan yesterday, and we've got an up-close look at the damage in a moment. Jason.
Democrats rallying today to talk about auto insurance rates, and they are not at all happy about the billionaire who just jumped into the fight.
I am appalled by the threats from Dan Gilbert, and no, I am not afraid.
Coming up, the details on Dan Gilbert's potential ballot initiative.